look at this place. It's a third of a mile. It's got banks as steep as a lot of NASCAR super speedways. It's going to be just a lot of fun to watch.
Racing in a phone booth on dirt. And the action's going to be crazy. The action, because it's tight. It's a small, short track, and the drivers are going to get it on right now.
Green flag, here we go. At Speedway, Missouri, Ken Schrader in that 52 red, white, and blue machine. Marco Andretti in the orange car for the lead.
Schrader got an excellent start. He knows this place. This is it. This is his party barn.
And Schrader, a little slip up there. Marco Andretti with a little launch to his inside. There's Schrader's fender, though, coming at you.
Marco got up on it, and you're going to see this all night long. Even mid-pack runners, they're all sliding up and putting a slide job on each other. Absolute. You're going to see great racing. And on dirt, Alan, you want to stay on the moist part of the track because that's where the most grip is on dirt. As the race runs, as it continues, it's going to get dry. The dirt's going to dry up, and the cars are going to slide even more and put more heat onto that right rear tire.
Here's a little 3 wide for third place. Tony Stewart, 14. Greg Biffle, 69. And Haley Deegan, 38. On board with Deegan. Watch the hands work.
That is what makes dirt racing so fun. You're sliding nearly the whole way around.
Here's Schrader on the crossover, getting underneath Marco Andretti.
That was what you call a slide job. Okay, he slid up underneath Marco, and Marco's getting ready to do the same thing. Marco's going to try to do the same slide job that Schrader just did on him.
Looking at a little right rear damage on the Paul Tracy car. He and Ernie Francis Jr. got together toward the back of the pack while we were watching that 3 wide, and you see there's a little dangling particle there from the back of the Tracy machine.
You know, they auction off those body parts.
Yep.
And Paul Tracy's got more money in the kitty from auction body parts than anyone.
That bar came off in the middle of turn 3, and drivers are dodging it, and the caution flag is out in heat race number 1. Well, that was an eventful start. And Ken Schrader leads at a track he's the co-owner of. The Camping World SRX Series tonight on CBS, live from Peevely, Missouri. We're to the south and west of St. Louis. at Ken Schrader's third-mile dirt track that he's the co-owner of. Ken from Fenton, Missouri, about 20 miles from here. Of course, four-time Cup Series winner, 13th all-time in Cup Series starts. Ken still races a whole bunch of times a year, 67 years old, and it doesn't matter whether it's pavement, dirt, you name it, he'll get behind the wheel of it. He'll have fun with it. And, of course, Ken, not only one of the great ambassadors of our sport, but one of the test drivers for all of the SRX races last year in this that makes sure these cars are all set up where the drivers can race them with fun, and that all the cars are as equal as they can be.
He's an awesome human being as well. I love him like a brother, and he's still racing. He raced last night at a track about an hour and a half from here.
Yep.
A separate race, and he just doesn't quit. He's like the Energizer Bunny, older bunny, but he's still got energy.
Doesn't matter where it is. I've watched him race a midget on the East Coast before the Stafford race. He raced last night here in Granite City, Illinois. And we are wrapping up this caution from picking up the bumper bar from Paul Tracy's car that got knocked off after this collision. That was he and Tony Kanaan. Oop, and that piece flying at you. Wow.
You know, there's going to be quite a bit of that tonight, and you know, Paul's true to form. That's why I'll call him Dick Tracy, right? Because he's like the cartoon carrier, brave as Dick Tracy. He'll run right in there, and they're going to mix it up again.
The other thing these drivers are going to do tonight is they're going to work really hard behind the wheel. You mentioned using both feet and the hands. So we have calorie burn counts from our Whoop telemetry. Last week at Nashville Fairgrounds, Joseph Newgarden at that half-mile track burned over 1,200 calories, according to our data.
And he didn't have any to lose.
No,
I mean,
well,
he's a thin cat already, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I could see Paul Tracy burning that. You know, Tracy's got a lot of gristle to burn.
You'll see some numbers probably in excess of that by the end of tonight's race, too, as hard as these drivers are going to work here. So the one-to-go signal being given here at the start-finish line. And we'll resume our heat race with a little less than 5 minutes to go in the 12-minute time heat number 1. Ken Schrader has chosen the outside line for the restart, so Marco Andretti will be back to his inside. Then you've got Biffle and Stewart, Francis Jr. and Deegan, Ryan Newman and Paul Tracy back through the first 4 rows as we come to the green flag.
Watch them. They're playing chicken right now. Schrader got another great start, but he's got his right side tires in the moist part of the dirt, which is where the grip is. So he got a good shot, a good slingshot coming off 4.
Tony Stewart gets around Marco Andretti for second and sets off after Schrader. Now Andretti being pursued by Deegan and Biffle. That's Deegan in 38, Biffle in 69, while here comes Tony Stewart toward the front.
Look at where they're running. They're running just a little bit high in the middle of the track. You can see how wet it is up there, just to get the grip from the right side, but also it keeps the right rear tire cooler.
Look at the biggest mover since the start of our heat race. This was off turn number 4 about a lap, now 2 laps ago. That's Haley Deegan trying to wheel it, and Greg Biffle trying to find a way by, Matt.
The SRX crew did a great job with the switchover of making these SRX cars more in the dirt late model configuration. One of the things they added was the grill screen in the front to help keep the engines cool, to keep the mud off. The track a little heavy, so the screens are filling up a little bit. But Haley Deegan now finally able to make it down to the inside. She loves running the middle of the track in 1 and 2. She told me she really finds a lot of grip down in 3 and 4 on the very bottom. Watch her line as she tries to work on that 98 of Marco.
And Deegan just tossing that car in the middle of the corner. This is for 3rd place. Deegan inside, Marco Andretti trying to hang on outside.
You know, the great thing about this track, Alan, it's wide. It's a real wide track. The banking is, what, 19 degrees?
Yep.
Right? So the banking's going to hold you in, plus it's wide. They can race each other and not bang into each other. But it gives them plenty of room. Uh-oh.
Got one squeezed in the wall. That's you're talking about. Somebody slow on the front straightaway. That is Ryan Newman, who is off the pace. after getting squeezed up into the outside wall, it looked like.
By Paul Tracy. So look at that right front fender right there on Tracy's car.
Oh yeah, Newman's got some pretty good damage in the front of that machine. And Ryan Hunter-Reay has gone to the pit lane also, as the yellow flag has come out for a second time in our heat race number 1. So got damage to the Newman car, to the Tracy car. Hunter-Reay's on pit road. That's pretty significant for Newman. What happened here?
Well, they both came off side by side, and believe me, it's hard to see. Right? And there's no spotters. So Tracy was drifting up to use the whole track, and he didn't know Ryan was there.
Yeah, I guarantee it. No idea that Ryan was there. So significant damage to the front end of the Newman car as he brings that back around. Look at that right front tire not even turning. And they're stacked up at the pit entrance because Newman couldn't turn and Tracy couldn't get stopped behind him. And Matt Kenseth behind them said, nah, I'll go around, forget about it.
This is what makes a race so exciting on a track like this, right? You're going to see this all night long, and you know, it really wasn't Tracy's fault. He couldn't see him, and there's no spotters.
Yeah, if you're new to the SRX series, standard in some other forms of racing is for a driver to have someone in a high place on the racetrack connected to the driver by two-way radio to warn them of safety situations or oncoming traffic. Not in SRX. They're on their own. And well, Matt, we got a traffic jam here in the repair area.
Business is very busy down here, Alan. Now, talking about the Newman car, they've got the saws all out. They're going to cut away the different body parts, try to re-tie wrap in the cooling hoses that go to the brakes. They've got some bare bond, big chunks of duct tape, which they'll try to piece together. Newman's 39 moving back to Kenseth in the 5. My Emmy Award-winning camera guy, Dave Stolen, gets a great shot of the grill. Look at the mud that they are pulling out from that grill screen. And then as you get a shot of that, we're going to walk over to Paul Tracy's car as Kenseth fires up that 5 over at Paul Tracy's car. This thing, I mean, they're trying to cut body parts off. They're going to try to duct tape the rear wing back together, but this certainly, checkered flag coming up here on the heat, but that car looks like it had a bad day at Flat Rock. She's pretty torn up on this 3.
Flat Rock being a very small quarter-mile track in the southern part of Michigan. So that is the end of heat race number 1. The clock expires under the yellow flag and with a whole pile of damage for the